Okay, so I want to welcome you all for today's webinar series. We normally meet every Tuesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Ugandan time. And so you're welcome for our session. And this is part of African Center for Career Mentorship. I want to encourage you that if you're not able to attend these sessions, you're welcome to check out for our YouTube channel. We will be having all these materials go there in a very short time. We normally load, every time we finish the presentation, we normally load these slides there. And so today we are going to talk about two important topics. One is searching for scholarships, and I will tell you another one in a very short time as we get there. So just to hit the ground running, this is our email address as African Center for Career Mentorship. You're welcome to join us or to contact us whenever you need anything or want to seek our services. This is my telephone number, which I use on WhatsApp. And this is our Twitter handle, and we have our website that we are still improving from time to time. Okay, so we recently did a study. This study was done in Uganda, and we had 218 respondents. We wanted to understand what students and what prospective students think about international scholarships and studies. And so we collected some information. So from time to time, I use this information for guiding our sessions, but also our planning purposes with some of my colleagues who are on the call. So when we asked what most of the questions they thought about, many students were struggling to know what course to study next. The second thing that stood out was what research topic to undertake next. And this really concerned us, and we felt, okay, this is very serious if students are struggling to know what course to study next. I mean, after the diploma or after the bachelor's degree, what course to study next could be pretty clear if at all you have a career path or career projection. But when we see people struggling to know what course to undertake next, it means that they need to be helped as far as career guidance is concerned. We also asked, what are you worried about most about, okay, for international applications? And for this case, we wanted to see what people were thinking and what they are worried about. And 90% of the people were worried about getting funding. Funding was a very big issue. People were so much worried, and by the way, we should be worried because once you have funding, then you're on top of the game. Just you mere having admission alone is not enough, but when you have funding, in other words, when you have scholarship or you have a fellowship or a studentship, then you are almost there. You've covered everything. So, and this is where we build the case for today's session on how to search for these scholarships, which can help you get funding and get scholarships. And so I'm going to focus in that line to help you address this very big problem, because 90% say their biggest problem is not expenditure, is not getting admission, is not English language, or is not culture or family issues, but the biggest problem is funding. Okay, so we also asked, what are the biggest barriers for applying for fellowships or applying for scholarships? 40% told us that how to get credible information or credible sources of information or credible calls for scholarships or fellowships was the biggest problem. And so in my presentation, I will try to address that gap there. The second thing which came out strongly is how to write essays. People able to told us that actually there's a very big problem and they struggle a lot in writing essays. And I will make a comment in that line and try to support you in that line. But at African Center for Career Mentorship, we have a full year program which is designed to help to coach you through the writing program, because we know that writing is a skill. That skill grows over time. In other words, in today alone or tomorrow alone, you may not be a star in writing. Writing takes time for you to build and get on top of the game. The third concern was where to find resources to consult with. And so I'll try to make a comment in that line. And again, just to emphasize that this webinar series that we are holding at African Center for Career Mentorship, we will partner with other organizations that we are already working with, like Shine Leadership International. My colleague is on the call. We have Students Hub, whom we recently signed an MOU with. We shall be inviting very many people for them to come and address some of those gaps. Tomorrow I'll be having a session at Makerere University talking briefly about how to write for fellowships and grants. But on Thursday, I'll be leading the University of Cambridge team that is visiting Makerere University to address some of these issues that we found out in our work. So in my presentation today, I'll try to address this big problem, where to find credible information, but also how to write essays and where to get somebody to consult with. So just to hammer the message home, remember our first presentation today is searching for information, searching for scholarship information. And remember, it stood out that people were struggling on where to get scholarship opportunities or scholarship information from time to time. So I want to inform you that there is a team of students in the US and the UK that sat together around 9 years ago, and they formed scholarships groups. And these groups are from 1 to 8. And so in these groups, they only share scholarship information, nothing else. Only scholarship information. And one thing I want to also share with you that this information is verified scholarship information. In other words, you should trust this information, these scholarship sources. So if we are looking at how and where to find information, the first place I want to humbly request you to join is the UG scholarships pages. Now, I want to request my colleague who is on the call, and that is Doreen. Doreen N, kindly you share the WhatsApp link for UG 8, because the UG 7 is almost getting, I don't know whether it's getting full. It has over 700 students or members. You share the one for UG 8. So please, you're welcome. She's going to share a link in the chat. I request that you can join so you can be getting verified scholarship information. I tell you, there's a lot of information as far as scholarships are concerned. Don't share anything on that group, because they will remove you or they will delete the information you've shared. The second, very juicy source for getting information is called Digest For Me app. Now, this was formulated and designed by one of my collaborators and my mentor, who supported me to get my scholarship to University of Cambridge in 2022. So it's called Dr. Danny Musinguzi, and I'm going to share a link very, very shortly for you to get to this app here. Now, this one is very rich. It has a lot of scholarships. These scholarships are ranging from undergraduate to master's and to PhD. Undergrad, I mean from bachelor's level to master's and then to PhD. So I highly recommend you to dive into this app here, and the issues of scholarships will be history for you. But also I want to invite you to join LinkedIn pages, because there are so many nice and professional scholarship opportunities there, which I want to recommend you to dive in. I want to take a minute here and request you to scan that QR code. Now, that is the Digest For Me Scholarship and Careers app, like I told you shortly. For me, if you can join the UG scholarships groups. And this one doesn't only limit to Ugandans, even if you are joining in, but you are from Ethiopia, because I invited my colleague whom I'm mentoring. He's from Nigeria. I've invited him to come and listen in. I have another colleague whom I'm mentoring from Ghana. I've also invited him to join in on this call today. So you're welcome to join these groups. You don't have to be a Ugandan to use these groups. I tell you, the information is great. The information is verified, and the rest is going to be easy for you because you will have information. You will have where to find credible information. So please, you can scan this QR code, but also you can just click on this link here. Let me see if I can share with you. Sorry. Let me see if I can share with you the. Sorry about that. I wanted to share the link, but if you can take it a photo and you can go and access that app and that link later on. So this brings us to the end of our first session today, which is looking for scholarship opportunities. I tell you, these two sources have all sorts of scholarships you're looking for, depending on the course you're doing. And when you take them on seriously, the rest is going to be history for you as far as looking for scholarships is concerned. So we'll stop here for the first session.